Chefs at home. Hey, it's a Friday and we're coming with the heat. Get the heat wave, we're compounding it. The exponential heat wave. We've got someone who's no stranger to your cameras, someone who's no stranger to your feed, coming live jive from the kitchen. We are cooking and we are cooking. Double entendre. We're going to speak about growing up in the Eastern Cape. We're going to speak about his journey with people in his life, his familial journey. We're going to speak about his content creation. We're going to speak about a whole lot. I'm not going to do too much to his bio. I want him to introduce himself. But in the kitchen joining us today is Bheki. King, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Let the people know who are you. For those that know, for those that don't, let them know.
Hi guys, this is going to be an intro. I always introduce myself. I'm Bheki, born and bred in the Eastern Cape. I'm now pretty well from Joburg, basically. China high.
China high. So, today, we're going to do something that I saw on TikTok.
Okay.
I've never eaten it before, ne?
Let's rock. I'm good in the kitchen, by the way.
Are you good? Okay.
Great.
Okay.
Me, chef.
Okay.
Let's rock.
So, we're going to make a Turkish pasta.
Okay, you're losing me there. But
so the way we do it's spaghetti and mince. You have a private school.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So we're gonna make pasta.
Okay.
And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna cook that pasta till it's al dente. Then we're gonna layer it with a nice layer of double cream yogurt, otherwise known as Greek yogurt.
Okay.
We're gonna season that nicely, and then we're gonna put our mince on top of that, and then sprinkle some feta, a bit of tomato, and then some paprika butter.
Sounds good.
So what do you identify with most in the dish so we can start dividing and conquering?
Maybe let's say the pasta.
The pasta?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's easier
cool.
to make. I mean, I'm not here to work.
Cool. let me put on some water for you.
Sure.
But take us through. I know you're born in the Eastern Cape, right? What was that like? You're born in Umtata. Was that home? But grew up in East London. What's the dynamic there? What's the vibe?
So, large family is in Tata, Kumachaying. That's home, where my grandmother is.
Okay.
And then I grew up in East London.
Okay. And how was that? Like, I know.
That's great.
Like,
East London is one of the greatest places I'd suggest parents take their kids to grow up. Great schools, great culture, great teachers. Great, because I mean, there's also great transport as well. As I'm sure you've seen my videos, I take the taxi, take the train, take the bus. I do so much. I think growing up in East London taught me that because we had an option of metro rail trains, we had the option of taxis, had the option of municipal buses, had the option of gee whiz, there's so much. There's an airport, there's a harbour. So it's a nice town to kind of expose you to what forms of transportation are there in the world.
So I think that's really interesting, but because I've never even heard that perspective. I think there's a lot of hate around the South African public transport system. But what I really want to know is that one thing in South Africa, people are going to come for me for this one, but one of the most cultured tribes that continue to be cultured, I think there's a lot of, cultural erasure and such like that, is Xhosa people, right?
Yeah.
So what does it look like from a cultural perspective? Like, how heavy are people on a day-to-day with, like, tradition, custom?
I think East London is very modern, probably westernized a bit. But one thing about Xhosa people, or the Xhosa culture itself, is that there's one huge tradition I think we've kept, which is this Luka, when boys go to the mountain to become men. I think that's the thing we've kept the most. When it comes to other things, I don't think we're still big on that. And I think because East London is in the Eastern Cape, and Eastern Cape is where, predominant Xhosa people are, there still is that element of practicing such cultures and such traditions.
So what was it like growing up for you? Like, what is schooling like? Are you the famous kid on the playground?
No. So for me, the weird thing is that, I grew up in a very nice neighborhood.
Okay.
I was privileged enough to have my mom affording that.
Okay.
Nice neighborhood. I didn't make friends with people in my neighborhood.
Okay, fair.
I think because I just felt like, so I think I had a cousin of mine, R.I.P. me, so R.I.P.
Yes.
So he was the one who would get me outside. Like,
Okay.
I played with people that I didn't really like playing with. But the more I grew up, the more I stayed indoors. But in terms of how I find growing up, from a personal perspective, is that I enjoyed it. I think I was a very put to himself child, and I think this for me is new. Being out there, I've always known that I had it in me, but it was always like, oh, what's the next person gonna think? What are you gonna think? I'm too loud of your house gonna think, so. But now, man, I'm happy.
Yeah?
I'm in a good space. I'm in a very. Should I help with anything?
So your water's ready here.
Okay,
so
sure.
here's your pot. I'll switch on a stove for you, and then you can get your pasta going.
That's right. So yeah, I was saying I'm just in a good space, man. Growing up, I appreciate the experiences growing up because it's made me who I am now. Really.
100%.
Yeah.
That's really dope. So what is the family dynamic? You mentioned your mom, right? Who else was in the home? You mentioned your mom. You mentioned your cousin.
So my mom's a hustler. I think I get the energy or like the vibe of being a hustler from her because my mom taught in a remote village while she left us in the suburbs.
Oh, okay.
And by us, she left me with my older siblings. I'm the last born.
How many are you?
We are 4.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's 2 sisters and my brother and myself. So it was a bit interesting growing up with siblings because they're just young as well. They're trying to figure things out and they're now tasked with the role of being a guardian to this different boy, you know. I like saying different because I mean, I was more vibier than my siblings. My siblings are very shy and
Let me just help you there. You can open it here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. My siblings are very shy and very to themselves when I am very much a bit out there, but not as much as I thought I was. I think now I also shock myself at how out there I am. So, yeah.
I think that's super, super cool. And then what does the school environment look like? Are you sportsmen? Are you cultural?
Cultural.
Okay.
I was a part of most plays in primary, most plays in high school as well. What got sucked about my high school is that it was a technical school, so they really didn't give much.
No stress.
Didn't give much attention to the creatives. They focused more on the rugby guys, the maths guys, and I was just. I would need something to stir as well.
Oh, cool. Let's get you something.
So yeah, I was more of the creative guy in the technical school, which was, it sucked, but I mean I enjoyed it because I already knew that I'm a creative at heart.
Yeah,
you know, and I don't think I needed validation then from anyone to confirm my status of being a creative. Yeah.
So after that, you do your whole school thing, vibing, culturals. What does tertiary life look like? If there was tertiary life where you're like, you know what, I'm gonna wing it. I'm gonna go hustle.
So, tertiary is quite an emotional thing for me. So my mom is, I've got an old mother. My mother I think is 64 years this year, and I'm 28, turning 29. So the age gap was quite huge. And my mom, having grown up in the Eastern Cape, a lot of our parents have the trauma of growing up during apartheid.
Yes.
So they're always chasing stability. For them, they would stick on a job for like 20 years.
100%.
Why did you leave? No, I'm comfortable here. If I leave, where am I gonna go? You know, they have that fear. So my mom wanted me to get a stable job so bad. My mom wanted me to get into the tech industry. Because I went to technical school, so she thought I'd also enjoy tech post high school.
Yeah.
So first year of university, I went to TET and I did mechanical engineering. That was a difficult one. That was my word. And I think then I was also developing my personality, started doing my nails, now I need to go to the workshop. Oh my gosh, it was so terrible when I think of it. But I dropped out 6 months in. I think it was actually 5 months in actually. I just didn't want it. It was not for me. It was not for me. And this is me now in Pretoria. I'm like, this was huge. Because coming from a small town and seeing big buildings is exciting. For me, I won't lie and say, y'all know it's not exciting.
Yeah, it was just whatever.
I got to Pretoria, I was like, wow, am I? And I saw opportunities. So went to TET. From then I was like, okay, what am I going to do what's exciting, and if I do leave school, I'm not going to do because I don't want to go back to East London. I'm enjoying Gauteng. So what I did was I was lucky enough to get a job in retail.
Okay.
So I worked in Menlyn Mall, shout out.
Menlyn.
Worked in Menlyn Mall. It was a great retail job. It was khaki, very fun. I was just trying to figure things out, and I'd not told my mom that I dropped out. This is actually not very hard.
No stress, no stress.
I'll try to make my story short.
Don't worry, no, go for it, go for it. Yeah.
So
all the time.
I was living girly for a year and then like 6 months, and then I had to go home. It's December, and I can't just leave business retail. Retail is busy in December.
Yeah, that's when it's busy.
I had to lie to my mom. I was like, hey, bro, can't come back. I've got to stop and be doing it on this day of December. I had to lie. But I had to tell her in Jan, like, hey, listen, I dropped out. Because I was planning to like change courses in Jan, and that didn't work out for me.
Okay.
And a friend of mine was just applying at UNISA. I was like, let me try that as well. So I applied at UNISA. And me being...
What are you applying for, by the way?
Yeah, so I'll explain that. So me being traumatized by the fact that my mom wanted a different career for me. So I was like, hey, maybe if I do psychology, a psychologist is somewhat of a doctor, and my mom is gonna love the fact that it's so.
I have a doctor in the family.
Yes. So I applied for psychology, was accepted, and I did that for a whole full year.
Okay.
But when I researched more about psych, I realized that I'm not gonna study for a 3-year undergrad, honors, masters, go to freaking. What do they go to again?
I don't even know.
Yeah, there's like some training you do after. So I was like, it's not for me. I'm not even that interested in books for me to, you know. I'd rather read for entertainment, but I'm not going to sit down and study.
For sure.
Sorry.
Don't worry.
You can leave that. But yeah.
It's all good.
So fast forward, I did psych for a year. After that year, that's when I was like, actually, I need to be honest with myself. I need to just get over myself and just rock. And I did communications, that's what I graduated in.
Okay, and at UNISA still?
At UNISA,
okay.
Completed it. And after then, things just went up. I got my first job in advertising as a copywriter for a great, huge international brand. I did so great, it made me permanent within like 2 months. I started being comfortable in the path that I was going in. So Boston was very weird. It's like,
So I want to know, like, how are you surviving at this time, right? Because I think that is the plight of a lot of uni students today. They don't have, and I'm so glad you managed to make it out there, but they don't have the privilege of time to, you know, decide this or decide that. So how are you making sure that, okay, I have food to eat, I have accommodation, or is your mom still helping you out in that element, or?
I don't know if I agree with you in terms of the privilege of time. I think what takes away the privilege of time is the pressure you receive from back home.
Okay.
Because for me, it took me so long to actually celebrate myself. Because for the longest time, imagine I've got a black African mother who wants me to be an engineer, and I'm out here like depressed about, bro, what am I studying? When am I going to study? I don't want to do maths. I hated maths since high school and wanted to do this. So for the longest time, I worked hard to impress her and myself. So by saying, you saying that the privilege of time, for me, I think what we mostly get worried about is the fact that our peers will leave us. Our peers will graduate before us. Our peers will get that Mercedes-Benz before us. But I think the biggest thing I've learned in my journey is that own pace, own race, own lane. I just need to own my life and know what I'm doing for myself. So I think that's what has really put me where I am right now, is because I'm doing things for myself.
Okay, that's super cool. And then what happens with the first gig? You do broadcast, you do copywriting, sorry, and then
copywriting.
How long do you copyright for, and why do you decide, okay, pivot
2 years.
Okay.
I was a copywriter for 2 years for this agency. I left that agency and I was a community manager / I was like a hybrid person. I did so much, bro. I posted on their social media. I did the social media copy. I did some of the posts. I did so much. That sounds like actually I'm a marketing guru at hand because I'm doing strategy, I'm doing this, and I did so much at that agency, and it worked for me because the client always loved my stuff. That's when I gained confidence in terms of, okay, my career is marketing, and it worked really well. And then after that, I went back to that agency that had me first. I was now senior social media manager.
Ooh, okay, promo.
I bought my car, so it was a good year. I think 2022 was like a very nice year for me. Bought my car, senior job, I'm making money, I'm confident. I think I love social media. I was like, what is this thing and what is happening and like how...
What's the hype? What's going on?
Like how is it? It's such a great tool. And I think that's where I also gained the confidence to probably start shooting myself as well. Because I'm not a cute guy.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe let me shoot myself as well. If I can do strategies for brands, then surely I can build this brand. Because I'm not shy, I'm kind of shy.
Yes.
But yeah, shame. I think that's how I kind of branched into the confidence of being on camera because I did a lot of behind the scenes work.
So I want to know when do you first blow up? Like the first video, you're like, oh, because I think it's one thing to believe in yourself, but to see that people are finally believing in you gives you that extra boost.
Do you know what's weird? For me, last year was a huge 180-degree change.
Okay.
Because, as I said, I was very comfortable doing the behind the scenes work, the strategies, making brands shine, getting the awards for the brands, etc., etc. And my car gets an issue. I take my car in, and as I'm taking my car in to be fixed, what happens is that I start taking a walk, and I walk to the bus stop because I think if you check how I grew up, I wasn't privileged enough to not work. So when you have experienced having to work for your money, you kind of know how to use money. So that was the case with me where I knew, I can't waste money. So I was like, I can't be choosing to take an Uber as opposed to catching a taxi or a bus, such a bus. And I started recording myself and like, I yap a lot. I think you kind of figure something yapping.
Okay.
On TikTok, I'd walk, I do crazy things, and I think I'm very entertaining, so I entertain myself. And I just started posting those vlogs, and people would enjoy me. Like, who is this diva? Like, nigga, who are you? Like, where have you been? I started growing, and my TikTok grew exponentially. Insanely, I would get over like 2,000 followers in a day to like getting brands being interested. And in June last year, my account gets deleted.
No ways.
My account gets deleted in June last year because so after the walking, I got my car back, and then after getting my car back, I'm like, okay, now from getting 2K followers a day to now not getting followers a day to from getting 11K likes on one video to getting 100 likes. So it's like, oh, I'm doing something wrong. Do people want me to walk? I can't walk and I have a car. What should I do? Then I started vlogging, come to me to work, then I vlogged in the car, and TikTok guidelines are quite strict. So I did a lot of videos of me in the car, and then unfortunately they deleted the account. And I remember being so frustrated, but the biggest thing about me was that I was like, at least I built a community, not just an audience of people who liked one video and decided to follow me, but people who want to see me learn, who want to
continuously.
So it's like, started my new TikTok on the 1st of July, 2000 and last year.
Okay.
And now we're sitting on 104K.
Oh yes.
So I think I'm privileged enough that my audience loves me.
So I wanna take you slightly back, right? You mentioned something quite interesting, and it's also for some maybe sensitive. You speak about having to go to the workshop, but also doing your nails, finding your personality. What was navigating your sexuality, your identity like in a university space? Were you always comfortable in that regard?
I won't lie. It was not easy.
Okay,
Because
tell us more.
growing up in the Eastern Cape, as much as where I come from, it was quite welcoming and open, but I always have, I think this is almost ready.
Cool.
I always have that trauma of when I speak to a cis-het man or like a straight guy, I have the fear of I need to protect myself. You know, I need to.
Makes sense.
You know what's
Makes
up?
sense.
You know, keep in mind.
Yeah.
So in varsity that was difficult because I mean, throughout high school I had to try not to be this Bheki, and now in varsity I'm like, oh, it's my chance to be this Bheki.
Yeah.
I
But
can't
also
really,
must just.
you know, because now it feels weird even to go pee in the same cubicle with a guy because the bullying in high school, the white boys would say things like, you totally, you know, like it's a joke, it's funny, ha ha ha. Everyone is laughing, but like now I'm traumatized, a 28-year-old, I can't share a male cubicle with you because a dumb boy in primary school would laugh about how I'm looking at this person's thing, but I'm not even looking at this thing. So I really struggled with accepting myself and also appearing in spaces that, so yeah, I always felt like I had to protect who I am, so that I don't get the bullying that I experienced from primary school. Yeah.
So, what would you say is the biggest thing that helps you? Because obviously, with anything, it's a journey. So you'll never say that I'm 100% at this point. You know.
Absolutely.
So what would you say helps you at least navigate and
Accept
build
yourself.
strength and that kind of thing?
Accept yourself. Accept who I am, Bheki, and me being Bheki. This is my journey. This is my life, and you'll be happy. People always talk, bro. Like, for instance, somebody will say, "Oh, you've got elf ears."
Yes.
Maybe let's say when you're growing up, somebody bullied you for real about those ears, and you've had enough. And once you accept the fact that you've got pointy ears, you're like, yeah, it's my ears.
Yeah.
I'm fine with them.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about it? You know,
Yeah,
so I think
yeah.
it's just, it all comes in accepting yourself first, and then you'll be okay with how people sort of receive you, or how people kind of comment on who you are, what you got, what you're about, etc., etc.
So, in your adult life, how has that been? Have you found yourself in spaces that are more accepting and just like you can be this Bheki all the time? You don't have to switch it off.
Another thing I love about Jordan is the fact that we're a bunch of strangers who just are trying to make success in this foreign city, for most of us, right? So I don't think people in Jordan care about who you are, where you come from. They care about what you do. Hey, what do you do? I'm a corporate lawyer. Oh, you're a corporate lawyer? Yes. You know, they don't care about that. They don't care whether you're gay, I'm gay. Don't tell us a snobby story. You don't care.
That's right.
You know? Yeah, so I think that's why I love Jordan so much. It's kind of taught me a culture of let's work. Let's work. Yeah.
So now you are content creating full time. What does that look like on a daily basis? What is a day in the life as a full-time content creator?
So I call it fun employment.
Okay.
So according to a country, I'm part of the statistics of people that are unemployed. But really, I registered in LTDPTY, where I kind of offer marketing services. And I do content creation full time. It's fun. I think, remember when I jumped to you and I said, people don't have time. I'm like, whoa, I got time. You know, so now I think I'm really grateful that I've got time and I own my time. And I own literally everything, you know, like that has to do with my time. Okay. Need to wash my hands quickly.
Cool. Can you get soap that's upon, and then you can just use that sink.
Sure.
There you go. Need a strainer?
Yeah.
There you go. So how often do you find yourself in the kitchen? Because every guest you've had is always like, I'm a stranger to the kitchen. Ooh.
I actually cook quite often.
Okay.
But I like quick meals. I like quick meals. I make quick meals for myself. I'm always experimenting in the kitchen. I think, I don't want to say the kitchen is my happy place because I'm lazy to wash dishes.
Real.
But I don't mind a good kitchen session. Like let's cook. Let's cook.
Okay. And then what's your favorite go-to meal?
Sure. I'm really great at making really delicious creamy butter chicken.
Ooh.
With the nice basmati rice. I think that's also my go-to comfort food.
Okay.
It's quick, it's nice. Or if I don't make it with
Filling.
chicken, I would make like a nice chickpea curry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll switch this off for you.
Yeah, please.
Perfect. There you go.
Strain it. Yeah, that's what I cook.
Day to day.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's super cool. And what I want to find out, right, is how is it then navigating love and trying to juggle all of these things? Like, can you recall your first heartbreak? Was it uni, or they rocked you and like, how fun?
I think love generally is very tricky for most of us.
Okay.
I think my first heartbreak was actually in 2017.
Okay, safe space.
I bought him a phone on contract,
Ooh.
an iPhone, and that time I was using a Samsung. I've once gone to the hospital as well because I lied and said I had a headache, a migraine,
Okay.
because he needed a doctor's note to skip work, and I had been playing and didn't.
Is this the same person?
Yes, I was so dumb.
You were in alarm.
I was in love, I won't lie, I was really in love, I really liked him. He was also very good with his words.
Okay.
And I think another thing that kind of like made me like him was the fact that I'm such a less than our future kind of person. And he had so many plans for us. And I really thought that the plans he had were like genuine plans. So yeah, that rocked me. I'm also still trying to find my way in love.
And since then, have you been in another relationship?
Yes. And currently. This is oversharing. Judge. Yeah, no man. I'm currently going through a breakup.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yay. Oh, Gosiam.
Yeah.
And how's that going?
It's difficult. Every week is difficult, but I'm just.
One day at a time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's I think it's also just interesting going through a breakup at this age, because I think I'm 28 and I thought this is maybe like the man I marry.
Ish.
But after all, computers crash, people die, relationships fall apart. The best you can do is breathe and reboot.
And how's rebooting? What does healing look like for you? I've always wondered, because people are always like, yeah, you must heal. Well, I know you haven't healed. Like, how does one go through the process of healing?
I'm very fun, so I entertain myself.
Okay.
So a good solo date counts. A good gym date alone counts.
Okay.
A good walk with a nice breeze counts. Yeah. I'm also into reading now. I've started reading, so yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Okay. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna take a small break.
Okay.
And then that's gonna finish up. The mince is almost ready. It's smelling good. And then we're also gonna get the fan on. It's so hot in here, guys.
Sure.
Yo. It's the conversation, man. Yeah, sheesh. And then we're gonna come back and then finish up the meal and then eat.
Sure. Let's rock. Influencers in South Africa, authentic people are gonna review cars, open their car and talk about a Mercedes-Benz. If you go to Mercedes-Benz marketing team and say, hey, this is what I know about your car, give me a car for a week, I'll do this. And if you stop by doing that, then it kind of puts you aside and like kind of sets you apart from other content creators who are just expecting a brief from Mercedes-Benz and hopefully to drive the car and talk about how pretty it is, but you're going to talk about the engine and stuff like that. So I think how I got to be my brand is that I just became myself, bro. And me not having an actual niche and saying I'm lifestyle, I'm a that. I just be myself, I think is a privilege for seeing people like me for who I am. Sometimes people just like you because of your food. They don't like you as a person. But for me, I think you guys like me for who I am. I think. But yeah, if I can give any upcoming content creator advice, would just be authentically yourself. Do not try and imitate. It's good to get inspiration. Like for instance, if you create content that is, food content. For instance, on Ezra, if I live in a village, I'm like, oh, actually, this worked for Ezra. Let me see how can I do it differently. Like, I'm not forage my own food now because it worked for Ezra. Let me just try and be authentically myself. And
for sure.
We could all be content creators, but not all of us will become influencers, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that's a deep one. So you'd say finding your niche and making sure that you're able to build a community around that specific niche.
Also be a bit different. Like, you're cooking in the Bunjus, but what difference do you bring? Like if I can watch your content back to back with Honors, what's different about yours?
So differentiate yourself.
Yeah.
Find your unique value proposition and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Your USP. That's what they say in marketing.
Unique selling point.
Yes. Yeah.
So I want to then talk a little bit about, this is a more broad discussion and perhaps more insightful for that reason. What's your take? Because now you say your mom was a hustler, right? And I think a lot of what Black parents work towards, if I can just see my children working, if I can just see them out of school, then my job here is done. But what that then means for the Black child is that you have to take up the role of supporting and Black tax. And is that something that you have at the moment? If you don't have it, is it something that you support or against? Like, let's talk about it. Talk to me.
Sure. We're getting deep.
Inside.
So my mom, there's 4 of us from my mom. And unfortunately, I don't think we were privileged enough for all of us being successful in our careers. And I've never really experienced being, the privileges of being the last born. I've never really experienced that, unfortunately. From a young age, I knew that I have to assist this woman because she worked so hard. Like, my mom, having been a teacher, she's never taken leave. She only depended on the holiday that they gave her, So, yes, I do have Black tax, but because also I'm very self-aware, I have learned to build a boundary to that. It's difficult to build a boundary, but it's important for family to know that you're also building your life.
How? How did you build that boundary?
I tell my mom. I'm very frank. I think because, another thing about me. Talk about me. Okay, another thing about me is that I did say I'm self-aware, and I'm also very much self-invested. I invested so much in myself, how I bring myself, how I present myself. So with my mom, I had to sit her down and say, my babe, I love you so much. And I live in Joburg. Rent in Joburg is X amount. This in Joburg is X amount. And from what I earn versus what you require, I can only offer you this and only that. It's fine, my son, I appreciate that. I give her that, but she'll still call. Then I assist where I can. So this is the thing of, we agreed on this amount, but the rest that you ask during the month is where I can assist where I can. It's where I can say, hey, nobody, I can't. And sometimes she understands because I did communicate and I did send. It's not like a thing where she demands, Bheki, send this, I'm like, I can't. I've given you this, that's all I can afford. You needing or requiring extra assistance. We're about to dish up.
It's going down.
You're requiring more assistance. I'm in the middle of the month, unfortunately. I can't just jump up and assist. I think I've created that. This looks delicious.
Yeah, I'm hoping it bangs.
Okay.
The TikTok.
It's rock. So I think that's how kind of balanced just communication with my mom, her knowing that I can't always be available to assist.
I think that's super dope, and I think a lot of people need to learn from that. But as a system of Black tax, is that something that you perhaps think you see for yourself? Do you think that you'd want black tax if you decide one day, okay, I want children of my own, or you're like, nah, I don't want to put someone through this?
I think I want to work hard enough that my children don't feel like they have to work hard to pay me back, or work hard enough for me to give them the freedom of option. I think I appreciate my mom and I love her so much, but the pressure she gave me about studying tech was the thing of she wants me to get successful careers so that I can build the home. I want my kids to be freely say to me, Dad, I just want to travel the world for a year. Let's rock, you know, because I've afforded them that. So, yeah.
So I also want to touch on something else. You want to dish up our pasta, you know? You were Mr. Pasta.
Sure, it looks a bit... well, it looks delicious, so
yes.
So do not judge me.
So I'm saying, right, there is a part where you kind of speak to the paternal side of your family,
yes.
right? What did that look like? Because from what I can ascertain, you know, again, social media, not the full picture, you say that your father wasn't really in the picture. And as a growing boy and as just a boy child, you want that relationship with your dad. So were there ever moments where you're like, I wish my dad was here for this?
I have a funny story about my dad.
Okay.
He's such a hilarious man.
Okay.
So, let's circle back to my mom's age. My mom being a 64-year-old woman, kind of also went to a bit reserved with her communication with me. She wouldn't tell me everything. I hope that's enough because I don't need a lot.
That's fine. That's fine.
So my mom didn't open up a lot. This is the thing of when I'd mention, because you know in primary school it's like, how was your weekend? Tell us what your mom, you know, on Father's Day they make you do cards for your father. And I had to ask my mom, hey, there's this figure or character they keep asking about at school. What is it and who is it? And then my mom would say,
I can take it.
I can take it. You know, like, okay. And then because I kind of understood how hard she worked to kind of make everything work, from a young age, I kind of knew that this is a conversation I shouldn't be bringing up, you know? So for the longest time, I told the kids at school, from primary school, high school, that my father is dead.
Hey.
Because I don't want to touch a conversation with mom's very late about it.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I did that, and boom, 2012, I was 16, and remember I said I was in the arts and there was play. My mom, who never takes leave, decided to take leave. She's not in East London, chilling with us. I'm like, yo, boy, why are you blomming here? What's up? She was like, no, well, there's a visitor that's coming this week, and it's your visitor. I'm like, my visitor? What do you mean, you know?
Okay.
And fast forward, I go to school. I come back from school. Me coming back from school, there's go high, but it's from the kitchen side.
Okay.
And then from the kitchen, you kind of get into our dining little room situation. And then from there, then there's like sitting room, and there's the couches, and then you know what's funny with that 3-piece couch?
Yeah.
So now this man is sitting on that single one, you know, in most houses, that single one.
Yeah.
Father's chair.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Litwadi, who's this?
Which one is this one?
You know,
Yeah.
so I'm so confused. My mom is busy there sitting very giddy and I'm like, this woman, what's up?
What's going on?
I get in and she's like, hey, your guest is here. I'm like, Hiba.
My guest.
Like, guest, you didn't sign. And what's weird about the universe is the fact that I was kind of prepared for this moment. So I'm busy shaking like, John, this could be him, you know? So I kind of circle back in my nose. Like, so what else am I asking? And I see him, I'm overwhelmed. And also because I've got such a huge heart, I was also welcome to hearing just a sorry from him. So finally I go put my bag in the thing, because I have to go back to school for drama. And we're performing that night. So I go to the thing like, hey, this Sutu old ass nigga wakes up and says, Managa, okay. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you?
What is this one?
I also remember, so when you're in this Cape, you don't have to speak other languages besides English, Afrikaans. Oh, this looks yummy. English, Afrikaans is Xhosa. So now you only know Sotho, Tswana, Pedi, and you can't differentiate which one's which through generations or TV, scheme sound and stuff like that. So I'm like, I know Managa is like my child. So I'm like, okay, is this him? And he looks like me. I'm like, but let me keep it cool. So I'm like, hey, what's up?
What's up?
It's like, yo,
Hey!
And
Hey!
I'm like, gee whiz, bro, what's up?
What's going
And then my
on?
mom's like, yeah, so this is your dad. I'm like,
Oh.
okay, that's what we're doing. Okay,
Alright.
okay, hey,
Okay.
daddy. And I was excited, Shane, but also very much had questions. But I was like, you know, I'll ask you the questions. Oh, we're eating.
Yeah, let's get our drinks ready.
Cool. Let me wrap this story up because it's quite long,
Yeah,
Shane.
don't worry, go in, go. We got
So,
time.
what he does is he's like, yo, you look like me, da, 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 da. So he's excited as I am, and that day actually at school it was photo day. So I got like a bunch of my photos there. You know how many they were, so you could like cut.
Different sizes.
Yes.
Man.
Yes. So I cut it up and then I gave him one of the cute ones. He's like, hey, you can keep this. So it's me at my school, look at my classmates.
Yeah.
I'm trying to show him that my mom has kind of altered life for me. Then the class was in that year, grade 10. There was a lot of like white guys. So I was like, yeah, it's a nice private school, you know, 21 in a class. Yeah, so he's also smiling. He's like, okay. But this kid kind of grew up very soft and did well. Also very nice moment for me to brag about my mom's work, you know. And also, I kind of wanted to make him giggle a bit because I wanted a blackberry bowl, bro. And a curve. So, okay.
Are you ready? Are you ready? You can go ahead. You can go ahead.
The story can wait.
Turkish pasta, guys. Taste test.
Bon appetit.
One apple. Our pasta's perfect.
Good.
Are you live? This pasta's perfect.
So, I've got ADHD, so I might forget the story. Fine. So, I give him my photo. After giving my photo, I obviously just, I'm like, hey, do you guys want to come to my drama show? This is me to my mom and dad for the first time. Do you guys want to come to my drama show? They're like, we're tired. I'm like,
Yes.
yeah, sure. I go back to school, and the entire drama team, I was like, yo, guys, guess who I saw? Like, who? I'm like, my father. I'm like, what do you mean? You told me your father's dead. And
I lied, guys.
and I'm like, yeah, I mean, people can, you know, rise from the dead.
You know how it goes.
The Undertaker, they laughed. It was really a fun joke. Undertaker was really fun. I felt like the man at the moment. When we performed, the drum was so nice. The play we did. Went back home, slept on the same bed as my dad. Because I was excited. I was like, you know, I was very excited. I didn't have any questions. You know, I knew I had anger towards him. But yeah. Woke up, went to school. Everyone knew at school that my dad woke up from the dead. It was really nice. It made me popular for a bit. I think that was my first like big moment at school. Went back home on Thursday. He was not there. But okay, wait. Important part of the story that I forgot. Actually, this is like the key point of the story. So when I was giving him my photos, I also exchanged numbers with him. So he gave me his, I gave him mine. We kind of made sure. Okay, what's the matter? Thursday he's gone. Hi, Bo, where's this man? My mom is like, no. Cheers. So my mom is like, yeah, no, this guy's gone. He had to go back to work. And I'm like, okay, cool, busy guy.
Yeah. I get it.
I have his number. I'll call him, you know. I don't know, WhatsApp or BBM him, whatever, you know. Fine. Thursday rocks, and then everyone's laughing at me at school. It's fine. It's really entertaining fun because I'm like, Undertaker, you know, it's my moment. Everyone's, you know. And then I decided to call him on Friday before the big show because Fridays, when you do drama, the kids would watch. So during the week, it would normally be like, parents, like people from like,
yeah.
So we had like an old age home close to our school, so we would only perform for those grannies on Wednesday.
Oh, that's cool.
Thursdays it's a mixture of parents and the students, and then Fridays when your friends come and yeah, you know, babang tips because they like
it's high school, you know how it goes.
Yeah. So this day, during my lunch break, no, it was after school actually. I didn't live far from school, so that's why I could get out from school, go home, leave my bags,
and then go.
Yeah. So it's after school, and I decided to call this man, thinking that he's settled in Joburg. Hey, so by the way, I practiced how to speak my broken Sotho because generations. I call. Actually, Papa, okay. Yeah. And I'm proud of myself, like, as I'm saying it, I'm like, okay, you know. And he picks up and it's his voice. And he's like, I'm like, get sharp, papa. I'm so sharp. He's like, what are you, man? Like, oh, but we exchanged numbers. And it's like, what are you, man? I'm like, Bheki. Like, his son. He's like, Bheki. And I give him my first name, my second name, Bafana, because my family calls me Bafana. No, Bafana is like, Bafana. No, hey, Blackberry, what they got taken.
Which one is this
I
one?
drop, and then I call again. Like, I went, problem phone in. I'm like, oh, I dropped. My heart was shattered.
Yeah.
I was so hurt. Until this day, I will not now. I'm over it. And I think for the longest time, that traumatized me about him. I hated him because I'm like, this is your voice, this is your number. There's no way he's my Blackberry. And I had to buy airtime. Remember how expensive airtime was? Because you'd get like BIS, like $60, and you're happy. But I had to buy airtime to call you. I'm calling you and you don't know who I am. I mean, yeah, sure. Tell me if you're married or like, tell me if you've got a family or tell me you're hiding something. You know, you've seen how old I am to handle whatever reason you've been gone for so long, you know? And you decide to, start waiting. I'm very kind. It's like, you know what, maybe he's gonna call back and be like, hey, I'm sorry, I couldn't sleep, you know? He did not. He did not call, he didn't say anything. This is funny. It hurt me so much during high school. I remember how traumatized I was, how rejected I felt. And remember, the Undertaker joke is still
I was gonna say, now people know.
I'm traumatized by that, bro. Undertaker, my guy wanted, I was an angry child because I'm like, don't, So and it impacted so much of my depression growing up, I remember even, this is overshare. I remember even when I was starting to date, I would prefer like older guys because of the diabetes that I had. I'm happy with that. Fast forward, 2015, I need to go to the mountain. I'm like, actually, maybe let's revisit this conversation. I go to my mom, both this, I'm like, hey, you once had a guest here in 2012, so bring a guest again. Somebody friend. Maybe now I need him. It's like, hey, bring him here. Maybe he's gonna assist, because it's like, it's my rite of pass, man. I'm like, I'm gonna be a man. I need this, my father to see me.
You want him to see you. Yeah.
My mom tried to contact him, because it's also a very expensive thing, because you need to pay for the initiation school, you need to pay for the celebration after. It was just a lot for her. So it's like, just call this guy to help you, My mom tells him, he does not pitch. Imagine me on my day when I'm keeping work, I'm out outside. But
you're looking.
Nowhere to be found. Like, you know what? Let me just get over this man and just.
He's made it clear where he stands.
Hated him, didn't want anything to do with him. And 3 months later, my mom comes again and got surprised.
Okay.
Hey, and I'm like, I was so angry at her. I said to my mom, listen, Ma, if you did what you did last time, now I'm old enough, I'll pack my bags and visit a friend at Res. Because now what you're doing, I can't. I can't see this man. He was supposed to help with this and that and he didn't. So I can't. And my mom was like, I know, it's not that this time. Boom, she's like, the thing of enjoying being given that independence by parents, like, hey, take my car, just drive to Gospa, So mom was like, hey, just go to the bus stop. Auntie who, I think it was Zandile, some lady, I didn't know the person. Zandile is coming from Joburg, go to Zandile, go to the bus station, she's gonna give you documents. And so I was like, yeah, sure, she gave me extra money to just like kind of, because I took a gap here in 2015. I'm like, oh, okay, extra money for myself, let me go to the bus stop, get to the bus stop. Right here, I go busy, I do no, it's fine, the bus is coming. Sure, the bus arrives. As I look,
that's still weird.
He comes there and is old as fuck. And my mom's 64, my dad was probably 70 something then. He comes out of the bus, everyone in the bus, he's like, that's my son. Yeah, and everyone in the bus is so excited because he was yapping about me, about the 16-hour bus ride from Joburg, Sebokeng, about the son of his, who I was was like, I cried. I was like, the pain my mom just caused me is probably worse than anyone can cause me. Because I hate this person that you bring into my life.
And I told you.
The pain, and I told. So shame, I didn't tell her about the pain that happened at 12. But I was like, I hate him. I can't have him come. And he comes and he's so sick. I was like, sure. I know God's tricks. Whether this man's here to die, let me just suck up our anger. And that's another sad thing about us young people is that we have to sometimes suck up our anger, even though sometimes parents cause us so much. So I'm like, we're gonna walk to the taxi and go home. I walk with this man, he walks so slow and I walk so fast. And my school was not in town. My school was in a total, it's like we're in Sandton and my school is in Bryanston. But all of a sudden, the kids from my high school are in Sandton. And they know me as the prefect from last year. Now imagine how I'm walking with this old man who's limping and he can't not tell everyone who greets me that he's my dad. He's proud to be my dad, bro. And the kids from, oh my god, because it was a prefect, it was like a drama, that was so his name.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Bheki, how are you doing? I haven't seen you, what are you doing this year? Is this the school you went to, my son? Oh, Bheki, this is your dad. I'm like, hated it. And every corner. And his family is so small, but that walk for like 5 hours, bro. And the universe just kept on bringing people who knew me. It sucked. But eventually when we got home, I was like, I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. He was so sick. I was like, God, if he dies here, you're probably punishing me for the hate that I have for him. But he didn't die then. He died in 2018. Cheers to that. But yeah, my dad really traumatized me. I will not lie. I only healed in my birthday in 2022. Was it 22 or 2023? When I decided to drive to Simbukeng to look for him to tell him his business. When I got there, the family was very excited to see me. Yo, so they knew that there was a son in the Eastern Cape that he would lie and say he's visiting because he has another son in the Eastern Cape. So it alternates the years because he's seen me twice. Yeah. But yeah, that's my dad, and he's dead now, so I don't have dad issues anymore. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
So yeah, that's basically my dad really traumatized me. Yeah, I will not lie. RIP to him though, because you don't sleep bad of the bed, but
yeah.
But yeah. Shame, man. I won't lie. It really was a huge part of motivation, I won't lie. But yeah, thank God he's dead, so that I can be happy.
I hear that, and like it's a very valid way to feel, a very valid experience to have. I want to then just follow that up. And obviously you don't have to go into detail on this, but have you ever seen someone? Have you gone to therapy? Because you speak about depression, you speak about lots of trauma, and how, if you have, what was that journey like? Was it like, okay, this is helping me, it's giving me tools, all of that?
I started therapy in grade 10. At our school we had a therapist actually, listen us. I started therapy in grade 10, so that's why I keep saying I'm self-aware. So as much as I can be self-aware all I can, but if I don't do anything about what I'm self-aware about, then there's no point. So I've been attending therapy since then, and I think the biggest thing was just that eagerness of having a father, and I think what sucks about a deadbeat is that he's alive. Yeah, so that's why when I heard that, he was like, cheers! Yeah, because there's nothing to worry about now. There's no unanswered questions. Because now, writing on my notes, like, why were you not around? Why did you decide to come 3 months after my manhood celebration thing? Hello, you knew about it, so... Yeah, I'm good. I've healed from that. I go to therapy even now. It's a good thing to do. Go to therapy, guys. So yeah.
That's super cool. So we're gonna wrap up the second half of our the last third of our conversation. Just gonna take a break, maybe dig in a little bit more, And then we're going to wrap it up, give some people some advice, the chefs at home, give them some advice, and then thank you for your time. So let's take a quick break. Nango, chefs at home, we have been thoroughly entertained. My meal isn't finished, but I'm full. That's the type of conversation we had today. We had something that's fulfilling. We had something that speaks to your soul, something that speaks to you deeply. And to recap what we've done so far, we spoke firstly with the early stages of the life, right? From beginning to tertiary to working and what that environment was like. And in the second half, we just picked Bheki's brain a little bit. We spoke a little bit about black tax. We spoke to therapy. We spoke to being a boy child and having a father that's alive but absent, and what it feels like to grieve someone who's alive. How you wish they would see you, how you wish they would care for you, but it's just a longing that can never really be fulfilled. So to wrap it up, we just really want to hear your thoughts in terms of what is your biggest advice. We've spoken content creation, we've spoken corporate, surviving corporate, we've spoken very specific niche things, but in this journey of the life, Bazalwani, what is the advice you give people to be like, this is how you survive life?
Sure. I think I'm a firm believer of people believing in themselves, because with self-doubt comes a lot of missed opportunities. The minute you look at, for instance, a job, right? Let's say you're applying for a job, and in that job, it requires 5 years. And like, I'm not going to do this because I lack 5 years. Why are you deciding for the interview? I think people need to start taking risks. Take risks. Apply for things that you feel like you don't qualify for. When you, matter of fact, probably do. Just ensure that you keep yourself grounded with some sort of spiritual belief, whether you practice African spirituality, whether you're a Christian, whether you're Muslim, whether you're any kind of religion or any form of spiritual belief. I'm a firm believer in grounding yourself. Sit down, pray, speak to God, whatever you believe in. If you feel like this is what you believe in, talk to it. Because there is a higher power, and there being a higher power, most of our power comes from the higher power. So, I think the biggest thing out of everything that I've said that you can take is that you need to ensure that you're prayed up and you believe in a higher power.
100%. You guys heard it. You heard it here first, folks. Believe in something. Believe in yourself first and foremost. And let whatever it is you believe in that's a higher power inform that self-belief, strengthen that self-belief, and take the risk. Bet on yourself so other people can bet on you. No one's betting on someone that's not betting on themselves. So make sure that you're your biggest investment. Like Bheki said at the top of the interview, invest in yourself. Reka vaslapa encha. Vaslapa etabuile. It's 5 years old. It's time for a new one. Upgrade, Small investments, big way. To wrap up, who do you think would be dope to bring on the show? Who do you think we should be reaching out to?
Poppy. Bring Poppy Syria. She would be incredible for the show. I think she would bring an authentic African perspective. I think her travels are incredible. Her travels are very much real-time, true African perspective, because what we know is that when you think of Zimbabwe, you think, guys, hey, Mazoe, With her, she's been there, and she'll tell you, I've been to this neighborhood, and in this neighborhood in Zimbabwe, they sold me the best gelato I've ever had in the world. I think you need somebody who would give you a perspective of a real world overview from, imagine how great it would be if somebody would tell you, I went to Italy and I didn't even see the Eiffel Tower because I was busy spending time with the people of Italy. It's not France, Paris. Yeah.
No, for sure. I think demystifying and educating is a big thing on the platform. So I'll definitely be reaching out to Poppy. Last 2 questions. Turkish pasta, what's your rating? 1 to 10?
A good 8 out of 10. The 2 is because so yeah, otherwise probably a 9 out of 10 actually, because it's made with love and a good safe space and delicious. It's just the fact that it's so filling.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Last question from my side. This interview, are you happy? Did you find a safe
I can't wait
space?
to
Did
sit
you find
live.
comfort?
I think I love it when I'm made to be myself. I think I didn't have to share as much as I did, but I think you and the rest of the team made me feel at home, you know, and I think the idea of talking in the kitchen personalizes everything. I think
Yes.
if I circle back and at home, the conversations I've had with my mom in the kitchen are probably the most impactful conversations we've had. So I think bit of nostalgia, bit of just the homeliness of talking in the kitchen about my life was the highlight for this conversation.
100%.
Yeah.
What's your moonshot? What's your big dream? Put it out there for the people to know. You know, we don't know
My
who's listening.
big dream is to annoy you on every TV screen, every billboard, every digital media platform out there.
Chefs at home, that was Chop It Up with Bheki and Tamasi. Thank you.
Bye guys.